When we think of the holiday Easter, one comes to mind of white bunnies, colorful eggs, and the resurrections of Jesus. But has anyone wandered past the pastel colors and into the realm of beyond? Come with me and search for the goddess of Easter on Between Monsters and Men. From what anyone can tell, Easter is not the actual name of the goddess or any goddess, and it is instead Eoster. She is portrayed mostly now as the beautiful blonde in American gods under Easter or Eoster. However, the world has never put a face or a body of a woman in the likes of Easter. The holiday mostly speaks from a biblical sense as the resurrection of Jesus. The name Eoster can be found in Old English and in modern day English, where it does translate to Easter, but the name itself derives from the Proto-Germanic name Ostro, which is a descendant of a Proto-Indo-European name which means shine. Very little information was ever found, and all are linked to one source. In the 8th century, the work of The Reckoning of Time by Bede states that during April, the pagan Anglo-Saxons would hold feasts in honor of Eoster, also known as Easter or Ostre. By the time he had written this work, though, the tradition of the pagan worship had long died out and was replaced by the Christian Paschal month to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. This was all that we knew of Easter, at least we think. With deep digging, historical linguists were able to trace the name of Eoster to the Proto-Indo-European goddess of dawn. Even with this little information, they couldn't be sure if the theories were legitimate, and not by any invention by Bede. With scholars potentially stomping out all theories of this goddess existing, is there really even the tiniest bit of possibility of this goddess existing? So I dug a little deeper myself. To be truthful, and let's be totally honest, I'm not a professional researcher. I wish to travel the world to archaeological sites and read ancient books to give all the right answers, but with the minimum information given to me, I was able to find what I have found. There are probably 100 different goddesses that could relate to dawn or spring in some form, and I was able to find a list of 9 that stick out the most. So forgive my mispronunciations now. Iesos, Thyssen, Easter, Usa, Aurora, Zoria, Bridget, Ame no Yusume no Mikato, and Anpo. All of these goddesses have the respected reputation in their locations and religions, some even linking one to another being possibly the same person. And as I searched through their tales, only one stuck out the most for the possible candidate as the real goddess of Easter. Her name is Bridget, and she is the goddess of dawn in Ireland, who predates the Christian Ireland. She associates with the spring season, fertility, healing, poetry, and smithcraft. What ties her closer to Easter than all the other goddesses is the pagan festival of Imbolc, where they celebrate the beginning of spring much as we do for Easter. Another small but important link to her and Easter is she possessed 2 oxen, the king of boars called Torc Triath, and Curb, the king of sheep. Due to this, she was considered the guardian of domesticated animals, which many of us have in our homes, such as the rabbit. Regardless, her feast day was on February 1st, we can't disregard that Bridget is the closest link to a goddess of what we know as Easter. The customs we are so familiarized today may have come from the 19th century scholar Charles Isaac Elton in his study of the hare in the folk custom and mythology. But he wasn't the only one who was cited for it. Charles J. Bilson found numerous incidents of folk custom involving hare around the period of Easter in Northern Europe. The sacredness of this animal reaches back into an age still more remote, where it is probably a very important part of the Great Spring Festival of the prehistoric inhabitants of this island meaning Northern Europe. And well, for the eggs, the exchange of eggs in ancient customs celebrated by many cultures has been going on for centuries. So what of it? There is no firm proof from the scholars and historians have found of a goddess known as Easter. What they did find was only one source by a novelist who could have been making it all up. That's not to say the least, that there is a goddess closely resembling the traits of a holiday. There are several goddesses of dawn, worldwide, but Bridget goddess of dawn, in Ireland is the closest resemblance I could find at the time being. Not only was there a day where she was celebrated for that also told of the first day of spring, but she cared and owned many animals that titled her a goddess of domesticated animals, which nowadays we can say for the rabbits. There is a big possibility of a goddess being more closely related to what we see Easter is, but has been lost in time like many historical figures that we have had misread today. But it is safe to say for now that Easter is ruled by a Christian belief and not a Germanic pagan god, at least no longer. Due to YouTube demonetizing videos like mine, please check out my Patreon page listed below to help support me in my journey to bring you all that is mysterious, creepy, and bizarre. If you want to see more of these godlike videos, feel free to also leave a comment. Please also like and subscribe as well.